Someone, guys. Linked up with some colleagues like today at lunch, and we obviously talking about how December was and what because people were on leave, and we haven't really had a chance to chop it up and actually talk outside of work. And it's so incredible because they were obviously, machita with the banter and what. It was a mixed table. There were sisters on the table and kuna machita. But machita, we saw it on your Instagram, And then we actually moved from the actual social laughing, the banter, to them saying they wouldn't post, hey, machita, I wouldn't post. And our sisters, some of them saying they would post, and it had us thinking and talking and discussing around private and public relationships, meaning people that actually are dating, but they choose to keep it to themselves. They don't post on their social media, they don't post on WhatsApp, they don't, go around the mall holding hands, versus people who tend to be very public. They post their relationship, they post their pain, their ups, their downs, their joy moments, whatever the case may be. They are very open in terms of how they choose to express their love, and I can relate now on both sides, so for the longest part of my life, I've always felt the need to keep romantic relationships private, for many reasons, and I actually started jotting some of the reasons why I think people keep relationships private, but for many reasons. And now that Umuntu is in a different space in their life, and how I've chosen, or rather we have chosen to post certain things regarding the relationship, it's been quite interesting. It's been quite interesting getting the reception from men and women alike. It's really changed certain dynamics. It's made me think more broader, because now I've got two sides of this. I've always been keep it private. And now I'm seeing the aspects that certain people were telling me good, and certain things people were telling me which was actually quite negative. So I did write them down. So if you guys just bear with me, my head tilting up and down. One of the relationships that we see a lot, I know we see it a lot on Twitter, is Dr. Musa Dombini. I think that's how you say his surname, and he's married to ex-Miss South Africa Liesl Lori, and I've seen a lot of hate when it comes to their relationship, reading the comments on Twitter, maybe just Twitter being negative, and I've heard a lot of hate, where people say, hey, she will hurt him, hey, it'll end in tears, And if you are posting your relationship and people are constantly writing the comments, it'll end in tears, Banbani will cheat, la 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 la, that puts the relationship under a lot of strain. That's like literally just every day when you wake up hearing negative comments just about you, it'll make you relook certain things. It'll make smaller insecurities become big insecurities. It will make you constantly want to look over your shoulder, doubting her, doubting him, because social media is constantly that. So I really, really do get that from that point, Guti, you don't want to put yourselves out there for the negative scrutiny that people will put, and not just for the negative, but also for the positive pressure, oh my gosh, you guys were lost forever. That on its own is pressure. So it makes sense when you see certain public relationships, and how the society, especially on social media, tends to treat them, and how society tends to treat them when things don't go well and when the relationship ends. I've said a lot of negative things about people's public relationships. I've made some videos, etc. Maybe if they kept it private, it wouldn't have given us as a society, as fans, as whatever you want to call us, a opportunity to scrutinize their relationship and them as people, as personally. So it makes sense. The thought and the discussion we're having around the lunch table is, does having your relationship public, does it make it last longer or shorter? Going back to my previous point, Uguti, when they put that positive pressure, oh my God, you guys are so beautiful, you guys will last forever, does that now, because you have been given that title, last forever, does that mean, Uguti, you are willing to timbegezela, be more, be resilient, have more perseverance, because society has said you guys should last forever or will last forever? Or is the pressure just too much where you're like, even the smallest thing, screw it, vele nje bashilo on Twitter that you are this person, vele bashilo on Instagram that you are this person, so I'm not even trying to stay for anything else. So those again were the challenges, and I wrote down some reasons why I think people want to keep their relationships private. So the first one was to avoid your guys' pop opinions. I don't want you guys to tell me how fat my chick is. I don't want you guys to tell me, hey, look at her hair, hey, look at this and look at that. Because Nina, you guys can be very, very rude, especially on Twitter where you guys can create these accounts and stay anonymous. No shame, you guys are rude, so I get that. You avoid that because you don't want people to scrutinize your partner like that and scrutinize the relationship. Hey, Penson, what's Penson? Penson is trash. What is he doing with a lady that's this pretty? Hey, Penson is this and this. Why would he, So I don't want you guys to scrutinize like that. So it avoids a lot of that negative part. The second one is that not everybody will be happy. As I said, there is some haters, people that just look at the relationship and go, it's like, and then there's actually people who would like to start creating problems. We know misery loves company. And if you constantly see Dr. Musa and Nulizel on social media being happy, holding hands, there's some people that will start coming with negative things and start creating trouble. Hey, do you know where this guy was last night? Hey, do you know where she was last night? Hey, my boy used to be there with this chick. Hey, receipts that don't even make sense. So that's a big one that I think it's a big one. And I've seen many times where people bring out receipts. You see the couple, people are happy, Jack and Jill were dating. I don't think it's our place to go in a public platform with an anonymous account and post receipts of Jack or Jill publicly of things that they're currently doing that's wrong or things that they used to do. Everybody has mistakes that they've made in their past. So it's not for you to publicly keep posting that on my timeline. Again, we've seen some of the stuff. We saw what Faith and Getty did. We saw it. So it's not for me to go on her current man's timeline and take that shit and post it on his timeline constantly. He knows it. I promise you he knows. About the things that are out there in the public. So it's not for me to constantly do that. And I think that's what tends to happen when you make your relationship public. Also, keeping your ex from finding out. So again, we can have bitter exes or we can have exes that we hurt. So again, if it's a bitter ex, you want to rub it in her face, his face, which is actually a bit childish and immature. Maybe that's your style. Or you could have an ex that you hurt. So if it's you who the one that fucked up and cheated or hurt, imagine now you the one that messed up, and then now you the one that's posting your happy new life on social media. It feels like a double-edged sword. You mess up my life and then you're the one that's happy. Come on, So I think I know a lot of people currently who are not posting relationship because they don't want their ex to feel a type of way, to feel lost, to feel hurt, to feel this, to feel that. So I understand that and it makes sense. Another thing that we spoke about is they were commenting around things that post. Don't you get to live in the moment? And I really do. I really live in the moment, but I also don't forget to document moments. So that's whether I'm with my kids, whether I'm with family, whether I'm at gym. I love documenting and taking snaps of our present moments so that we can look back in the history or the archives of our lives and actually be happy with how joyful we were. So certain people wouldn't want to make it public because they just don't like the mere fact that they're constantly having to take pictures and posting and not living in the moment. Same way that they don't take gym content or they don't take pictures whenever they have lunch and post that online. So it also makes sense for them and that type of personality. For me, who enjoys an Instagram and that social media type of energy, I like to constantly take pictures just to remind myself. Number 5, to keep your relationship off limits. Guys, whenever I post any content, gym videos, people feel entitled. Hey, Penson, that's too light, go heavier. Hey, Penson, that's too many, it's too little reps, too many reps. Did you do this? Did you do that? People feel entitled to constantly want to say something. If they see me playing soccer with my kids, hey, you too rough, let them score. Oh, don't let them score, you need to be tougher on them. People feel entitled to always want to comment and say. And I think at times when it comes to relationship, that can get too much. So again, I want to have my relationship. This is ours. It's me and her living together, making sure with the things between us stay like that. And the moment you guys come through, hey, I can't believe you guys are living together, you're not even married. Oh, I can't believe you guys don't cook together. Oh, I believe you guys live apart. Everyone will feel entitled. Not everyone, but like people start feeling entitled and they want to have a say in your life, which can be quite annoying, whether it's parents, whether it's friends, whether it's just total strangers. So very important. I think a lot of people then choose to make it private. 6, this constant need with social media of competing. Hey, me and my girlfriend had a vacation and we went to Pretoria. We enjoyed it. We spent the weekend together. Then someone else is posting, yeah, Pretoria. Me and my person, we went to Paris, and it feels like there's this competition constantly, So a lot of times people just want to be happy. I want to be happy that my partner made me ipapa ne lucky star. I enjoy that, So when I post that in happiness, someone's going to be like, oh, my partner made me a lobster and caviar. Sharp, great. But I know certain people just find that competition very, very much annoying. And they'd rather just not post and not be public with it so they don't have to deal with constantly being compared to rubbish things. And then the last point that I wrote, which is a bit of a sad one, is what happens if the relationship doesn't work, So I think a lot of times in life, we tend to not vocalize our dreams, goals, and aspirations out of fear of what happens if it doesn't work. So I go around and I advertise and I tell people, Guti, you know what, guys, by the end of the year, I'm going to drive this car and I have this money, and I'm constantly posting that. What happens when the end of the year comes and I have none of those things? So if I'm constantly posting her love lives here, loves her here, the most beautiful rest of my life, and it doesn't work, so I think as human beings, we just tend to be scared of those type of things. I understand those that talk about keeping your dreams and goals to yourself. Let it manifest within you and your spiritual leader, being God, whatever the case may be. I get those thoughts. Certain people like me, I like being kept accountable. So with certain goals, not every goal, but with certain goals, I like to vocalize my goals. Okay, sharp. By this year, I'd like to be able to run a marathon as an example, and then I like to constantly start these little challenges where as a community we all be part of this little goal, and hey, let's see how many guys we can run together as a group. I love that. I appreciate that, because for me, I always believe that teamwork makes the dream work. So again, I vocalize it, but I get people that tend to not want that because they fear what happens when things don't work out and you end up looking like a tit. All of a sudden you guys were holding hands, loving each other, kissing each other on Instagram every day, and then she cheats on you. That's painful, and people are going to be asking questions. Hey, whatever happened to you and that chick? Whatever happened to you and that chick? So it does make sense, and it makes sense why people want to keep their relationship private. My personal feel is do what works for you. For the longest time in my life, I'm 35, and this is the first time in my life where I'm choosing to be very public, social media public in terms of my relationship. I've always been private. Even within my immediate family, they've always known just a little bit about my romantic relationships. I've never really been a person to air out any dirty or clean laundry. I've always been that person that's always just wanted to keep it within themselves. The negatives that I found with that is that when you're going through challenges and you're going through relationship hurdles, like every relationship, if you've never shared with those that are closest to you, it becomes very, very challenging to go out there seeking help, because you've always been closed off. You've never been vulnerable enough to share certain things, certain mistakes that you did, certain mistakes that they did, certain, again, challenges that you guys are facing, because you've never been open to your immediate circle or to your parents or to your friends, whatever the case may be. So I'm at a stage now in my relationship where I've been very, very open to my mom, to my brother, to my sister. These are my challenges. This is what I'm trying to overcome. This is the past trauma that I have from other relationships. How can you guys guide me in order just to be a little bit better? I'm not saying you guys have all the answers, but at least as teamwork makes the dream work, we can kind of get to the solution sooner. So the reason why I'm posting is, one, I love celebrating my wins. I love celebrating people that I love. If you've seen, I love posting my kids. I love posting my kids. I love posting my mom. I love posting my siblings. I love posting things that I enjoy, gym, rugby, my friends, whatever the case may be. So for me, posting relationship is not, no, it's just me celebrating on my platform. If people really don't like it, then why are you following me in the first place? So again, that's just me. I'm trying something I've never done before and I'm loving it. Will it always be me? Will it be me in 6 months time, 2 years from now? I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is that today I want to celebrate my victories. Today I want to be happy and show everyone in my circle, in my world, what I'm currently doing to get a little bit of happiness. I hope I'm making a bit of sense. If you appreciate your relation being private for whatever reason, please drop comments below. Tell us exactly why you're choosing to keep your relationship private. What do you think the pros and cons may be? And if you publicly about your relationship, write that in the comments as well and say why. I'm very, very intrigued and eager to hear both sides. If you've done both, private and public, let us know. If you've done just one, also just let us know. And guys, ngiyathanda, man. I hope everyone is well. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Please like, share, subscribe. Sure.